What happens when a housing market that favored sellers for over a decade suddenly flips overnight? Well, we're about to find out. Right now, there are 500,000 more sellers than buyers nationwide, the biggest gap in over a decade. And the impact? 44% of homes are sitting on the market for more than 60 days. Prices are under pressure, and sellers are losing their edge fast. While some markets are feeling it more than others, the trend is clear. We've shifted into a buyer's market across much of the country, and it's only gaining momentum. Let's look at how we ended up in this new reality. Right now, sellers outnumber buyers by a wide margin across the country. In some areas, the imbalance is nearly 3-1. Just 2 years ago, homes were selling with multiple offers in days. Today, sellers are competing with hundreds and sometimes thousands of other listings for a shrinking pool of serious buyers. Here's what changed. The median home price hit $432,000 as of April of 2025. That's up just 1.6% from last year, the slowest growth in nearly 2 years. Now layer in mortgage rate. Gone are the days of 3% loans. Today, buyers are starting at 6.7% average 30-year rate, adding hundreds of dollars to monthly payments and pricing many people out of the market entirely. Guys, and it's not just rates. Economic uncertainty is keeping buyers cautious. Layoffs, rising costs, and shaky consumer confidence are making people rethink big purchases, homes included. A recent survey showed that nearly 25% of Americans are holding off on major purchases like homes because of the financial worries. But here's the wild card. All those homeowners who locked in record low rates during the pandemic, they weren't supposed to move, yet life happens. Job relocations, return to office mandates, divorces. Real life doesn't wait for perfect mortgage rates. People have to sell no matter what. That's why we now have around 1.9 million active listings competing for just 1.45 million buyers. And if you think this happened before, you're right. In 2018, a much smaller gap between buyers and sellers caused price growth to slow 2% within months. Today's gap is 4 times bigger. History is repeating itself, only this time the shift is even more extreme. The condo market is getting hit the hardest right now. There are 83.5% more condo sellers than buyers. Compare that to single-family homes, where there are 27.8% more sellers than buyers. The numbers tell the story. Condo prices rose just 0.4% year over year, while single-family homes managed a 1.5% gain. So if you're a condo seller, you're facing some of the toughest conditions in the market. And it's not just a few places. This shift is nationwide. 31 of the top 50 metro areas have already flipped to a buyer's market. These aren't small towns. They're major cities that were red hot just a couple of years ago. And it's clear this isn't a local issue. It's a broad national shift. And here's the part sellers need to hear. This isn't a temporary adjustment. The fundamental market dynamics have changed. Sellers who built their expectations during the pandemic boom are realizing that their pricing power has disappeared. The proof? 44% of homes listed in April sat on the market for over 60 days. That wasn't normal not too long ago, but it's becoming the new normal now. It's a clear sign that sellers are no longer driving the conversation on price. The buyers are. The question now is, where do sellers have the most to lose, and where are buyers gaining the most leverage? Quick check-in. Are you seeing more homes sit in your market too? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you're noticing locally. So what does this shift really mean for today's market? It means buyers are finally back in the driver's seat. With more inventory and fewer bidding wars, buyers now have time to compare, negotiate, and get better deals. And they know it. One big reason for the inventory surge? New construction. All those developments that started during the pandemic are now hitting the market. all at once. This flood of brand new homes is giving buyers even more choices than they've ever had before in years. Today, it's common for buyers to negotiate 5% off the list price and walk away with thousands in seller concessions. Things like closing cost help, repairs, home warranties, or even mortgage rate buydowns, all those extras buyers couldn't even ask for just a few months ago, and right now they're back on the table. And the condo market is under even more pressure. Rising HOA fees and insurance costs are pushing more condo owners to sell, giving buyers even more leverage to negotiate favorable deals. But here's the problem. Many sellers still haven't caught up with today's new reality, and it's costing them big time. By the way, I just hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'm so grateful for everyone who's been part of this journey. I'm on a mission to reach 2,000, so if you're finding this helpful, hit that subscribe button and join me. I share updates like this every week to help you stay ahead. Here's the hard truth. Many sellers are still stuck looking at comps from just a few months ago. They're still chasing that kind of full price offer with all terms favorable to them that they saw not too long ago. But here's the thing, that market doesn't exist anymore. Sellers who experienced that rapid price growth are having a tough time accepting that those days are long gone. You got used to watching home values climb month after month, and now it's hard to accept the new normal. But the new normal is this. Buyers are in control now. This disconnect between what you want and what buyers are actually willing to pay today is exactly why so many homes are sitting. Overpriced at launch, and buyers assume something's wrong. By the time you cut 5 to 10% to taste them, that damage is already done. That stigma sticks, and you end up netting less than if you had priced at market value from day one. It's a tough pill to swallow, but the market doesn't care what you paid for or what your neighbor's home sold for 3 months ago. Buyers care about what's available now, and with more homes to choose from, yours is just one option among many. And once your home sits too long, it becomes part of the sale inventory that buyers use as leverage to negotiate harder or even walk away entirely. But smart sellers are doing things differently. They're pricing competitively from the start, based on real sales, not wishful thinking. They're looking at what homes are selling for today, not what they listed for. And they're doing strategic updates, small improvements to make the home move-in ready, because they know buyers want value without the hassle. The difference is huge. In markets where sellers adjust quickly, homes are still selling in reasonable timeframes. But in markets where sellers cling to yesterday's prices, inventory builds up and prices come down. The shift isn't temporary. It's the new reality, and it's only just the beginning. Here's a quick tip. If your home's been sitting for more than 30 days without any serious offers, it's time for a price adjustment or strategic refresh. Waiting will only cost you more leverage. And if you want more tips like this, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me tremendously. And I do post updates every week to keep you ahead of these shifts. What matters now is understanding how to position yourself in this transformed landscape. Forecasts predict that home prices will drop 1% by the end of 2025, driven by 34% more sellers than buyers. But I want you to think about this as just the beginning of a broader market correction. When you have that kind of nationwide imbalance, downward pressure on prices isn't going away anytime soon. But it's not just about a small price drop. It's about recognizing that waiting could cost you more in leverage, in time, and ultimately in money. So if you're thinking about selling, act sooner rather than later. Price based on today's comps. Prepare your home well. The homes that are selling fastest right now are move-in ready and realistically priced. The sellers who adapt early are getting results. The ones clinging to yesterday's prices are chasing the market down. What are you seeing in your local market? More listings, longer days on market? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what's happening where you are. And if you're here in Maryland and thinking about selling or buying, reach out to me for a one-on-one consultation. We can set up a phone call, Zoom meeting, or meet in person, whatever works best for you. I'm Lily Vallario with eXp Realty, an award-winning agent year after year, and I've been helping clients like you for over 21 years. All of my contact information is linked below in the description box. Thank you again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.